Now entering the virtual ceremony is the class of 2020. Please rise.
Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Lincoln School Class of 2020. I could not be prouder of this year's graduating seniors. Graduating is a big achievement under any circumstances, but during a pandemic, wow. As these 24 seniors transition from student to graduate, let us recognize that they have achieved this when more has been expected of them than just to be a student. You've had to be responsible in ways that no other class of seniors have ever had to do. These 24 young women and men exemplify the values of who we are at Lincoln School, which include respect, responsibility, compassion, integrity, collaboration, and learning. In a time like no other, their achievements and character honor the alumni that have gone before them and make them role models for their underclassmen. Their presence today would not have been possible without their parents, family members, teachers, and staff who supported, encouraged, and celebrated their endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my honor and privilege to be a part of your senior year. Please accept my sincere congratulations, class of 2020. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Troy Coffroth, who is the chair of the Lincoln School Board. Mr. Coffroth has served on the board for the past 5 years and has 3 children at Lincoln School, including 1 graduating tonight. He is employed by the Millennium Challenge Corporation, a part of the U.S. Embassy. Welcome, Mr. Coffroth.
Hello, graduates, Lincoln School faculty, parents, and friends. On behalf of the Lincoln School Board, I want to wish you our heartiest congratulations on your accomplishment today. Like all of you, I so wish we were all together in the same room in Kathmandu celebrating your success. A few short months ago, none of us imagined that this is how the school year would end, but here we are, and you are all doing beautifully in this changing time. You have risen to the challenges of physical separation, online learning, and the uncertainty of what is next. You have done your work, completed your assignments, and planned for your futures. Bravo to all of you. While today belongs to you and your success, it is important to remember and acknowledge the broader community who were with you along the way. I would like to take a moment to do so now. First, to the teachers and faculty of Lincoln School. As a parent, I know what you have collectively done to assist the graduating seniors and all the students at the school to flourish, especially now during the distance learning. For answering all the emails, reading all the papers, and serving as role models for our children, thank you. To the administrators and support staff at Lincoln School, our students have a beautiful, secure facility, excellent health care, wonderful performance and athletic facilities, and an amazing transportation system. And of course, an IT infrastructure that makes the current distance learning possible. These amenities don't just happen on their own, and I want to thank each member of the staff for caring so much. And finally, to the parents of our graduating class. I should mention, today I stand before you not just as a representative of the Lincoln School Board, but also as a parent of a class of 2020 graduate. Congratulations, Tomas. Parents, today is definitely your daughter's or son's day, but congratulations to you all too. Your support, love, and yes, sometimes admonishments have helped make today possible. You've done it along with your child. Enjoy the moment. Now I turn to the graduates. While this is not the ceremony we expected, it is the one we have. Your lives are going to change as part of your graduation, off to jobs or university, perhaps moving to a different country to find your future path. As you have already experienced, change can be disruptive. It can test you. And yes, it also makes you stronger and more resilient. You were already prepared to go into the world from Lincoln before the pandemic upended our lives, and you are even more so now. Remember that Lincoln is always a part of you, and the board is honored to get to spend this time with the class of 2020. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, Ms. Ramsey and Mr. Coffroth.
It is an honor and a privilege to introduce the keynote speaker for the class of 2020, Ambassador Berry. Ambassador Berry has served as a diplomat since 1993 and spent more than 20 years abroad on assignment for the U.S. State Department. Most recently, he served in Washington, D.C. as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia in the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, a position he held since late 2016. Prior to that, he was appointed as the State Department's first special envoy for the human rights of LGBTI persons. The ambassador marks his second assignment in Nepal, having served previously as Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Kathmandu from 2007 to 2009. He was subsequently appointed twice as Principal Officer and Consul General, first at the U.S. Consulate General in Auckland, New Zealand, and later at the U.S. Consulate General in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. He served as Deputy Principal Officer, Consul General at the U.S. Consulate General in Cape Town, South Africa from 2003 to 2007. Ambassador Berry's early career took him to postings in Bangladesh, Egypt, and Uganda, as well as previous service in Washington, D.C. in the State Department's Bureau of African Affairs. A rural Colorado native, Ambassador Berry earned his BA from Bethany College, Lindsborg, Kansas in 1987, and did graduate work at Adelaide University, Adelaide, Australia, in 1988 as a Rotary Foundation Scholar. Ambassador Berry is married and has 2 children who both attend Lincoln School. His leadership, compassion, and integrity, coupled with his connection to Nepal and history at Lincoln School, make Ambassador Berry the perfect commencement speaker for the class of 2020, and we are, once again, honored that he has agreed to address the graduates. Please welcome Ambassador Berry.
Thank you, Luke, for that gracious introduction. To the Lincoln School graduating class of 2020, namaste on this incredibly important day in your life's journey. As any of you who are marking the conclusion of your educational career here at Lincoln would realize, though, you've never really traveled the path to this day on your own. So to all of those who've helped you reach this milestone, I also direct my warmest greetings. To your parents and siblings, to your friends and supporters, to Lincoln's administration and staff and school board, to all who've contributed to this journey, I'd say namaste as well, and I commend you on your work to provide the soundest of foundations to these remarkable young people marking this day. Thank you for that. But today, I'd like to speak a little more directly to the graduating students. I am so honored to join you for commencement today, and though I'd hoped to have the opportunity to do this in person, current global circumstances have required us to innovate a bit. You know, I lived and worked in Nepal many years ago, and I first stepped foot onto this campus from where I'm speaking to you today when a small handful of you in this graduating class were just beginning your time here in 2007. And I'm so proud to be here at the conclusion of that journey as well. You know, in addition to having the distinct honor of serving as the current American ambassador, in truth, I have a far more important title I'm going to use today, and that is as a proud Lincoln parent, with 2 of my own children part of this remarkable family. And as proud as I am to join you today, I'm also going to predict that for many of you, memories of today are going to fade pretty quickly over time. The words spoken here today are pretty fleeting, but they are representative of a philosophy, of a reality, of a journey that's more important itself than its own articulation. Do I remember the wise words of guidance or from administrators or teachers or speakers from my own commencements long ago? Not a single word. No, but I do remember clearly the feeling, the emotion, the gratitude, and the realization that the world as I knew it was changing forever. And I remember understanding the importance of this day because it's one of those unmistakable, clear moments where life brings you not just to a crossroads, but to an intersection so vast and for you so global and so unlimited that fear can begin to creep in. And that fear is one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about today. One of the elements of today's event that you certainly won't forget is that it occurred during the height of a global crisis, the likes of which are unfamiliar to most people alive on the planet today. You will recall that your graduation, unlike all the others that preceded it at Lincoln, was conducted virtually, a sign of the unprecedented times we are now living in. And make no mistake, these are truly extraordinary times. But they are not the first times of trial and challenge to our shared global humanity. You are making a great life transition in the midst of an even greater global transition and a challenge. But this should not, cannot, and will not defeat your dreams and your aspirations, nor will it defeat our collective human spirit. So let's take a moment to talk about fear. I had a career before diplomacy, and as a former high school teacher of American history, I'm very fond of citing the wisdom of others that have gone before us and faced their own great challenges. Perhaps not the same ones or even similar ones that we face today, that you face today, both in global and personal terms, but profound challenges of their times nonetheless. One of my favorites is a well-known quotation delivered by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, America's 32nd and longest-serving president in American history, at his first inaugural address in 1933. Now, if you happen to remember your American history, that was, not unlike today, a time of great tumult in the world. Assuming office at the height of the Great Depression, an economic hardship of legendary proportions, President Roosevelt's words were heard virtually, if you'll accept the modern reference, by the majority of the American public at a challenging time, and that was over the radio, since televisions were not yet known. Many of you might already know Roosevelt's words that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, which called a nation undergoing hardship to common cause and purpose. But I prefer another reference to fear, also attributed to Roosevelt, because it is a sentiment that is timeless and versions of which were delivered independently by many great human beings thrust into extraordinary roles and times over millennia. Roosevelt said, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear." Also, the great South African leader Nelson Mandela, in reflecting on his own life's journey and the deprivation of 27 years of freedom for his role in battling severe injustice and racism, put it slightly differently. "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear," he said, "but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers fear." And these are not merely modern observations. They are enduring, ageless, part of the human experience. Even the Greek philosopher Thucydides wrote that the bravest are surely those who have the clearest vision of what is before them, glory and danger alike, and yet notwithstanding, go out to meet it. That's also a comment on overcoming and not denying fear. I believe fundamentally in the truth of all of those statements. But why am I speaking to you today about fear? Well, it's to say that it's okay to have fear. We all do. We all have, and we all will. That's part of the package of being a human being. It's also not the most important part of being a human being, not by a long shot. Sometimes we can refer to someone as fearless, a reference that is intended in every way to be a compliment. But I don't think that's the right word. I have two better ones for you. Bravery, courage. Those are the ones I'd urge you to strive for. Because denying your fear of something only gives it greater power over your lives, over your decisions, and over your relationships. Understanding it, learning from it, and knowing in your heart and in your mind that there are things far, far more important than it, that's the real key to living the most authentic, most fully realized, most fully awakened lives that now stretch out ahead of you. Your journeys diverge here from your teachers, from your administrators, and from your friends also, who you've known for years. Do you have fear of that path ahead? I ask that because I certainly did at this point in my own journey. But those who were most influential in my own life taught me something exquisite, something truly priceless as I charted my own life's path. And that was, don't deny your fear, but also don't allow it to dictate your choices in life. Don't run away from it, run towards it. I can guarantee that the day you conquer a fear, truly conquer it, that's a feeling like no other. It's a lesson in growth like no other. It's the day you turn a fear into a step, no longer an obstacle to you, but a perch from which to see further, and perhaps even glimpse the next fear to be vanquished. Now, this will look a little different to everybody because we're all unique. But the principle, I believe, is consistent, and I think also that it's vitally important. For example, are you afraid of public speaking? Then look for opportunities where you have to give speeches, where you have to talk in public. Are you afraid of climate change? Then work every day to change the global response in meaningful, tangible ways. Are you afraid of new challenges at universities a long way from home and things that you've known? Then seize every single opportunity to get as far out of your comfort zone as you can and seek those challenges that are the most daunting to you. Are you afraid of political leadership in our world today? Then seek to change the way we relate to one another, respect one another, run for public office, and shape the public dialogue. Are you afraid of overwhelming pessimism in our world today? Then choose to be an optimist. Are you afraid of inequality in our world? Then I urge you to speak out and work to advance diversity, inclusion, and fairness wherever you encounter it. Turn challenge into opportunity. Turn fear into steps. Turn anger to compassion. I say this because it is entirely within your power to do this. And how do I know that? Well, because I've been around for a while. I've had opportunities over my life that I could never, ever, in my wildest, most fantastical dreams, have envisioned when I was sitting where you are today. I have been fortunate enough to influence issues and realities in our world far beyond any reasonable expectation. I've been truly blessed to come to know the true, wonderful, diverse, amazing, unique character of our world, our cultures and our faiths, our foods and our literature and our music, and importantly, of individuals. I've had the chance to live and work in no fewer than 9 countries around the world, to travel in nearly 100, and to work meaningfully on global humanitarian issues, including hunger, education, and the rights of marginalized people. What a dream that's been for me. And it would never have happened had fear prevailed in my life. I say that because when I was 18, 19, and an inexperienced kid graduating from a small rural high school in Middle America, my expectations were pretty limited, and my fears of the unknown were substantial. At that age, I'd rarely been more than 50 kilometers from the place I was born, and only really knew rural and small-town America. The difference in my own life was I discovered, inspired by those I respect the most in life, and by their example, that courage could allow me to understand my fears and understand that there were more important things than them, as Roosevelt said. "You can do this," was a refrain first provided to me by my family and by my teachers, but it later became my own reinforcement, sometimes whispered under my own breath when I wasn't really certain that I could. And it doesn't require long-term vision. Nobody is asking you today to see around corners or to know without doubt what your life's work will be today. It just requires the right attitude and the right direction. I've quoted presidents, great leaders, and ancient Greek philosophers in my remarks so far, but wisdom and example can be found everywhere. Just look for it. I'm reminded of a literary figure, for example, lost and lonely, a protagonist in a story of epic consequences who, when faced with great personal setbacks and loss, alone in the dark, on the verge of defeat and in search of direction, suddenly breaks into song to dedicate herself in the absence of certainty to do the next right thing. Now, if you don't recognize that, that's not great literature. I'm describing Princess Anna from Frozen 2. But the fact that it's voiced by an animated character doesn't change the raw truth and power that that sort of determination is really a great superpower. Draw inspiration from every available source to you. Whether imaginary or real, these figures I've referenced and their values and passion are built upon a foundational story. So a word about those foundations. They are vitally important. A building cannot endure over time without a solid one. Philosophies fail without a solid core of reason. Religions or institutions or thoughts cannot survive without a firm, reliable core upon which all else is built. The same is true for individuals. Human beings thrive best, succeed best, prosper best, care best, are at their best when their character is built upon a solid foundation. To you graduates, look around, though I'd say ironically that's going to be done virtually just for today, to all those who helped you build your foundation. Undoubtedly, you are the most important architect and builder of that, but you haven't done this alone. Your parents have made an extraordinary commitment of love and support in preparing you for a life more independent of them. Think of them and thank them on a day like today, for it is a challenging transition they now face as well. Your teachers, coaches, administrators, and staff, they have patiently, lesson by lesson, practice by practice, performance by performance, allowed you to add those bricks to your foundation. You've already learned the most important principles and the most important values that will allow you to build out the remainder of your lives. And I would note that you've done much of that within your families and here at Lincoln. When I look back over the nearly 4 decades that have passed since I graduated from high school, I know without a doubt that the most important influences on my life, the most important bricks in my foundation, if you will, were those forged at those earliest stages. They were given to me by loving parents, sometimes in spite of resistance, particularly if it involved work or discipline. They were given to me by my teachers who, quite unreasonably I thought at the time, required me to do more because they knew I was capable of it, in spite of my protestations that I'd always done my best when, of course, I hadn't. They were given to me by coaches who instilled lessons of teamwork, perseverance, and achieving common goals. And those are often lessons learned best in defeat and not victory. They were given to me before I was your age, and they have remained my foundation all those years. Though we are all unique, you have grown with similar types of assistance, and your foundation is made of the bricks baked under the guidance of others. Honor that, remember that, and always, always understand that even at your most independent, who you are and how you succeed is forever and inextricably linked to others. So there's a big, beautiful world out there just waiting for you. Embrace it all. Make your mark. And I encourage you to fail often, because at least you'll know you're reaching beyond the known. but then it's important to get back up and try it again better. Change what you can, but also possess the wisdom to have patience with those things that are beyond your ability to change. Make your life better by making other lives better. Let compassion be your compass. Live life, and never, ever let fear make a decision on your behalf. Congratulations, graduates, and good luck. Namaste.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Ambassador Berry. The class of 2020 has selected 2 students to speak on behalf of the class, Celeste Landry and Jigtral Gurung. Please welcome our first speaker, Celeste Landry.
Good evening, parents, staff, students, and fellow graduates. Thank you for tuning into the graduation ceremony of the class of 2020. Whatever part of the world you're currently in, I thank you for taking the time to watch this. Seniors, remember at the end of junior year, the worry we had of not making it this far? Well, here we are. We did it. I remember as kids, we used to write letters to our future selves, listing our hopes and dreams. I remember worrying that I wouldn't make it, that I'd easily fail my 14-year-old self. I remember being so overwhelmed by the thought of disappointment, I put that letter inside my keepsake box and forgot about it, until I started writing the speech. August 14th marked our first day as seniors. I can recall the predictions my friends and I had made at the end of the summer about how this school year was going to pan out. 10 minutes before the first bell, we were in the bathroom hyping ourselves up, telling ourselves, this is our year, and we were going to do everything possible to make the most of it. I'm sure everyone remembers what it's like to be a freshman. It's a memory we all forget about so easily, and when it comes to mind, the only reaction it produces is complete cringe. You're at the bottom of the food chain. You hate talking in front of the class because of the game of tug-of-war your voice plays as it goes 2 octaves higher mid-sentence and then down 1 by the end. You break out constantly. No one's opinion is valid besides your own. You're more concerned about what you look like with hopes people will notice. And yet, all you think about is the day you get to walk through those brass gates as the eldest in the school. Because once that day comes, it's everything. You become the person middle schoolers whisper to and point to in awe because all they want is to be like you. You're the team captain. When you walk through the gates of the swimming pool, when you step onto the field with your cleats, everyone pays more attention to you because you're the leader. They respect and idolize you. From the other side of those brass gates looking back, it's hard to believe we've become the seniors others look up to. You know, from the start, there weren't very high expectations for our class. We got quite the track record these last couple of years. Our 9th grade biology final ranked us at the bottom of all of Miss Montgomery's classes, and it was a grudge she would not put to bed for a week. The last day of grade 9 health consisted of a challenge involving latex, 2 desks, and an uproar of laughter from the boys as their faces flushed in utter embarrassment at the task assigned. Mrs. R and SD gave up trying to stop the dirty jokes, and eventually ended up laughing at our complete immaturity throughout the entire class. 10th grade history composed of routine group and individual presentations on the Holocaust, Vietnam War, cultural revolutions, and I tell you, Mrs. R was a hard one to impress. She used to sit in the back of the classroom as the presentations were being projected, clipboard and pen in hand. Nothing could compare to the pressure you felt as you were setting up, in your head praying to God you're lucky enough to get a meeting. I sat at the desk in front of Mrs. R's with Dia, and granted, every time someone came up with their index cards and notes, we'd bust out in a silent chuckle. It was so hard not to. And despite this, I can say with certainty that we turned it around. For the most part, by the end of our senior year. I've come to realize that you don't have to be personal with someone to appreciate them. I came to this realization in November, during those 6 days we spent at the Borderlands Resort for our service in Nepal. I'll be frank with you, none of us were looking forward to having this trip pushed back 4 months, especially at the start of the winter. But looking back on it now, it was probably the best decision we made because we managed to have our moment as a class before the world turned upside down. It was at the end of our last day at the Bachelor Devi School. Tomas and LD were in a huddle with a group of schoolgirls playing games. Aki took a bucket of paint and a brush and spent hours up on a stool filling the outline mural with a burst of colors. On the opposite end, a volleyball match between the Lincoln players and the staff members of the school gathered everyone to watch with anticipation. Right next to that, in the empty classrooms and hallway, birthed a rather rough hybrid of football, basketball, and a bit of wrestling among several of us, and basically a team of high school boys. It was intense, to say the least. The hike back started with Oasis's Champagne Supernova blaring out of Tomas's backpack. The feeling of satisfaction was in us all. And what happened after dinner felt like something out of a Netflix original. It started with the song request from Ayusha, who quickly grabbed Raisha, Shreya, and Inula to join her in dancing to the Bollywood songs. Rashina and I were talking, and she immediately put her coat down and started singing the lyrics at the top of her lungs and joined the girls in a huddle. Soon after, Post Malone's Psycho blared, and it was Ivan, Madison, Akshara, Rashina, and I horribly rapping the lyrics and messing up on the bridge. More requests came, more people joined the circle, until eventually, everyone was on their feet. We had been dancing at Service Nepal ever since our Chitwan trip in the 9th grade, when Mr. Nielsen taught us how to swing dance. But I had never seen every person in our class stand together in the way that we were that night. The introduction to I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas started playing, and everyone went crazy. From across the circle, Inula started jumping up and down and throwing her hands up. LD was singing it word by word. The staff at the resort turned on the disco ball, and when the bridge came on, everyone joined in to sing along. Looking around the circle, all you saw were smiles, laughs, and insane dance moves. It was pure bliss. I can't describe to you what it felt like, after 4 years of the same routine trip, to finally say that we had achieved this long-awaited moment. From there on, the next couple of days were composed of constant group effort and support, whether it was team building or canyoning down the waterfall. We were there cheering for our classmates. I've been thinking about the last night by the river a lot recently, thinking about what everyone said about their time as a snow leopard at Lincoln, lying in the middle of Rashina and Eli as they bickered, having to speak on Ivan's behalf because of his sore throat. I miss it. Thank you all for making my final service Nepal the most memorable one. On behalf of the class, I want to say thank you to the teachers we've been so fortunate to have these last 4 years. Whether you realize it or not, you've motivated us to become better individuals. You believed in us, even when we completely doubted our capabilities. And when we didn't think we had it in us to thrive at a certain task, you were right there for reassurance. There were times when we lacked motivation and the umph to move forward. And though it was frustrating, you were always there for encouragement. We didn't thank you as much as we should have. Outside of teaching, you're notable adults, individuals, coaches, leaders, the whole package. You're admired so much more than you could ever know. So thank you. Thank you to Ms. Knox. She taught a grammar workshop class this year that about a third of our class signed up for. I don't know how she managed to teach a subject that's considered boring by everybody and turn it into one of the most engaging classes I took this year, but she did. Granted, she was patient. And one phrase that was a constant throughout the entirety of the year was, "I'm proud of you." It's such a rewarding feeling, knowing someone recognizes your effort and growth, even if it's something as basic as grammar. It resonates with students. So thank you. I don't think it's often that students talk about a teacher an entire year after they left, unless they left a significant impact on them. Mr. Adams is by far the most skilled math teacher we've ever had. After English 11, we'd head down to the downstairs hallway where we'd hear his music 3 feet away from the door. Most days he was either playing Derek and the Dominoes' Layla or Santana and Rob Thomas' Smooth. He gave us every ounce of effort he had in him to teach us all he could. He was hilarious and quick to call out those of us who slacked behind or needed the extra push. He'd pull up a chair beside you and guide you through the worksheets and homework with a patience and approach that was unlike any teacher I've ever had in this subject. So Mr. Adams, thank you. You set the bar high for us all. Luke and Sam Davis, you two men have been in the Lincoln community longer than any of us have been in school. You've known seniors in this class since they were first graders. You've coached many athletes during swimming, volleyball, basketball, and football seasons. You've been mentors and advisors to us all, opening up your rooms for guidance and support. But most importantly, you are role models for the boys at Lincoln. You have set examples and displayed values of what good men should adhere to. I'm proud to say that I got to know you both personally, because you're both great men. Undoubtedly, if there are any individuals who respect what the true essence of a snow leopard is, it's these two. Thank you. To the administration, our advisors, and Utopian, Thank you for creating and running this program for us tonight. You know, there are seniors all over the world who've had to graduate under worse circumstances, or who maybe aren't able to graduate at all. We're fortunate enough to have a group of individuals who have done the best they can to ensure we have a memorable graduation. Thank you for being the hope that we needed during this time of uncertainty. I'm sure in 10 years, we'll be rewatching it all over again. As time goes on, it's easy to get caught in the motions. It's easy to put things off. It's easy to convince yourself you have it all. You've got the grades, the awards, the recognition, the attention. You have all these things, and because of them, you assume that's all high school's really about. It's not. Sure, it's part of it. But it definitely isn't all of it. You see, high school is a cycle of hating and loving yourself. It's about making a complete fool out of yourself. It's about proving who you are to everyone. Your parents, your teachers, your peers, but especially yourself. High school is about your identity, who you were at the beginning, the middle, and who you are now at the end. It's about the relationships you create with the people you see every day, who you let in, the people who change you, the ones who teach you lessons, and the ones who are there for you through it all. It's about trust and deceit, assuming that you had something real when in fact you didn't. It's about getting hurt, either by the people you thought you could tell everything to, a best friend you grew up with, or someone you've only known for a couple of months. Sometimes you make mistakes. You let go of something you should have held on to. You could have tried harder, instead of giving up as easily as you did. Sometimes you're lost. You have no idea what you're doing and you don't know how to get back on track. Sometimes you don't get the things you want. You fail a test, lose a match, you don't get the role you wanted in the play. Sometimes things don't go the way we intend them to. And that's okay, because you adapt to the circumstances and make them your own. High school is about growth and realization. You're nothing in comparison to who you were when you first started. So to the seniors listening tonight, think about who you were 4 years ago. Think about what you stood for, your aspirations, your goals, the plans you made for yourself. Did you accomplish them? There's something I want to tell the underclassmen of Lincoln School. You may convince yourself that you have more time than you do, but in reality, you don't. I know I'm not the only one who wishes things had turned out a little different. We were all anticipating the end of the year because in these months, that's when everything's supposed to come together. These months were intended to be filled with more moments, more dances, more laughter, more memories. So let me give you a piece of advice. Take advantage of every moment you have with the people you care about. If you have something you want to say it. It's better to say too much than never to say what you need to say. You don't want to have a conversation with a classmate at 2 a.m., going over all the things you could have done differently, apologizing for your lack of priorities. So take the initiative, not just for yourself, but for those around you too. A little bit of effort makes all the difference. Seniors, I know how much you've been enthusiastically waiting for this. We had high hopes of watching our community see us take our last steps before college. We had started picking songs to dance to during our walk-off, counting down the days to get fitted for our caps and gowns. All we talked about was this day. I know it's upsetting having to compromise under the given circumstances, but watching me through a screen does not take away the significance of this moment. 2 nights ago, I got to hear 23 spectacular speeches about every senior's Lincoln experience. Knowing that I got to share these past 4 years with every single one of you brings more joy than you could ever know. It's for this reason that I want to remind you that this moment is all that we make it. I'm inspired and impassioned to appreciate you all in the midst of everything that's occurring around us. I want each of you to know how proud I am of you. You did it. You made it. Let this moment sink in. I am forever honored to be a snow leopard alongside all 23 of you. Lincoln is a second home to us all, and the experiences and lessons learned within these walls will stay with us forever. The future has a lot of talent awaiting from this class. I look forward to seeing each of you become incredible stewards of change. I couldn't have asked for a better set of people to grow up with. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jigsaw Garung, and I am here today to honor Lincoln School in the class of 2020. I am pleased to speak here today, although it is my house, so I can technically speak here whenever I want. In all seriousness, it's an honor to be nominated to speak. First, let us remember the great times we had at Lincoln School. The service Nepals, the SISAs, and the classes. These experiences have been some of the greatest of my life, although I'm only 17, so I haven't been alive that long. We've finally done it. After years of triumph and hardship, we are finally here. Parents, your kids have finally grown up. In a couple of months, we will all be off to college. I remember when I first got to Lincoln, I thought college was so far away. But now, it is here, and I am so excited. I can't wait to see what the future holds. I've never been off on my own, and I want to see what the world is like. In college, we get to start our new lives and meet new people. We get to study subjects we're passionate about. But at the same time, we must not forget the support our parents, administrators, teachers, and support staff and families have given us over the years. And now we must make it on our own. I'd like to end it off by congratulating the class of 2020 and requesting that parents or guardians offer a kata to their graduating senior. A kata is a ceremonial scarf that Tibetan and Himalayan region people offer to deities, great beings, respected people, family, and friends. Offering a katas is a long-held tradition at Lincoln School. When offering a kata to deities, the cloth symbolizes perfection of patience, meaning you're asking the deities for the blessing of perfect patience. When offering kata to great beings, you're asking blessings to protect you from obstacles. When offering a kata to respected people, you are showing respect. When offering a kata to family, you are showing appreciation for their loving kindness. When offering a kata to friends, you are congratulating. Today, we offer katas in celebration of our seniors' success and accomplishment. The kata is also a banner symbolic of our wishes for their good fortune and success in life. Now, can a family member please offer a kata to your senior to honor this tradition?
Thank you, Celeste and Jigtrawl, for your thoughtful words and for leading us in the kata offering. At this time, the senior parents, on behalf of our director, Ms. Ramsey, and the Lincoln School Board Chair, Mr. Kofroth, will present the diplomas to the class of 2020. It is with great honor that Mr. Davis and I call the members of the class of 2020 to receive their diplomas.
Riasha Baidya.
Shreya Chikatla.
Brooke Adnafu Getachew.
Rashina Giri.
Jigtral Chime Rigzin Gurung.
Shreyansh Gawali.
Tanisha KC.
Tomas Elam Hernandez Kofroth.
Ivan James Kurian.
Celeste Alejandra Landry Hernandez.
Ishan Mehta.
Dylan Rutadera MPC.
Madison Nader.
Ayusha Pandey.
Inula Ranabat.
Siddhanta Sakya.
Dia Sharma.
Resha Shrestha.
Rehan Silvanus.
Akshara Singh.
Tenzing Charing.
Divash Tuladar.
Eli Clayton Tullock.
Morrison Rose Tullock.
Parents, families, faculty, staff, guests, I present this very special group of 24 young women and men, the Lincoln School Class of 2020.
I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.
Hi, class of 2020. We know things are a little crazy right now, but realize it doesn't take away from any of your amazing accomplishments. So here's a massive congratulations from us, and good luck with everything.
Hey seniors, I know graduation isn't exactly ending how you expected. But you gotta remember that it's about the journey, not the destination. So congratulations on graduating.
Hi guys, I'm Penny Haynes. Congratulations to the Lincoln Schools class of 2020. I wish you every success in achieving your dreams.
Seniors, you guys have been amazing this year, and I wish you nothing but the best next year.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and take care.
Congratulations to the Lincoln School class of 2020.
Good luck on your future endeavors.
A warm congratulations to the class of 2020. May all your dreams come true. It's been wonderful to be a part of your journey.
Class of 2020, congratulations on your graduation. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Dear class of 2020, heartfelt congratulations. So proud of you. Remember, you are not alone. You will always be a part of this community and this country. Stay connected. Go out and make a difference. The world needs you. Namaste. All my love, Regina.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Keep venturing on your journeys, pursuing your goals. Wish you all the very best.
Hey seniors, I hope you feel like you learned a lot this past year, and I hope that continues into your next year. Congratulations on your graduation.
Namaste, class of 2020.
We wish you all the best.
All the best.
Congratulations!
Hello seniors, congratulations. I hope that through all of this you're still able to feel very, very proud of the many things that you have accomplished. I look forward to being your peer, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer and on to whatever might be next for you. Best of luck.
Hey graduating class. I know everything seems out of whack right now, like the hair on the head and the hair on my face, but I know you guys have what it takes to rise above it. Congratulations.
Hello, senior class. I hope that all your wishes and everything comes true, just like that thin light that just blessing.
Go forth now, be epic, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Congratulations, you did it. I wish you much success and happiness in the future, so be well and do great things.
Hey guys, I don't teach you guys, but I have coached some of you and it was a pleasure. Congratulations on your graduation.
Hello seniors, congratulations on graduating and finishing your high school career. Must be super exciting. Just saying it's a pleasure to have had you all as part of the Lincoln School community and family, and I wish you nothing but success and happiness in the future.
Hi Lincoln School seniors, this is just the beginning. You are stars in the making. Shine on. Congratulations.
Hi class of 2020, I just wanted to say congratulations on your graduation. I'm so proud of you guys. I had an amazing freshman year, and I really, really hope that you guys get to experience your freshman year this fall, in person hopefully, and good luck with your future. Good luck!
Happy graduation! All the best for your future!
Seniors, class of 2020, first of all, congratulations. Believe in yourself and believe it can be done. All the best for your future.
Hello seniors, congratulations for your graduation and all the best for your future.
So we're going to miss you a lot at Lincoln School next year. Take care. Namaste.
Hey, class of 2020, congratulations.
We just wanted to stop by and say hello and that we're so proud of you all and we can't wait to see what you accomplish.
Woo!
Congratulations, seniors. In a time of uncertainty, please know with all certainty that we're so proud of you and sending unwavering support.
Congratulations on your immense achievement and welcome to the Lincoln School Alumni Club.
Remember, once a snow leopard, always a snow leopard.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. I hope you guys have an amazing future and that you really enjoy your university experience.
Congratulations, everybody. My very best wishes to you all.
Good evening, senior class of 2020. Congratulations on your well-deserved success. I'm so happy to share in the excitement of your graduation day, even if it's through this video, and I'm so proud of you as well. I can't wait to see you all again at our alumni events in the future and to see all the great things that you do. It's only been 2 years that we've been together, but it was a good 2 years. Good luck at college and university. I miss you all.
Hello seniors, Mr. Larson here. Sorry I didn't get dressed up to record your message because I am out here where I just prepared the ground to plant a fruit tree in your honor.
Dear seniors, soon to be fellow alumni. I'm sure you never imagined your graduation would be this way when you were gazing up at the stars of Borderlands. But you will never forget this time, just like I will never forget each and every one of you. Now go out and make the world a better place. And don't forget, #SnowLeopardsForLife.
Congratulations!
A wise person once said, life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. So slow it down, pay attention, and be happy. Congratulations.
Way to go, class of 2020. You did it. Congratulations. We're celebrating with you every step of the way.